Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into CoreLogic Credco. Before we get into it, let me just give you a little information on exactly who CoreLogic Credco is and what they do. All right, so some people think that they're like a bureau, but they're really not. What CoreLogic Credco actually is a company that combines credit data from the major three credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They combine their reports, all three of those reports, into one report. So basically, they don't have their own database. Data furnishers, creditors do not report directly to CoreLogic Credco for any reasons. They just get their information from the people who already have it. All right. So basically, like if you apply for a mortgage or anything like that and you get denied, but you see a CoreLogic Credco inquiry on your credit report, yeah, it's disputing with them for that will kind of be like verified each and every time, because if you're not disputing it with the people who they got it from, they're just going to go back and re-verify it with the three credit bureaus or whatever bureau that they received the information from. Logic Credco does not generate nor do they store their own credit reports. Okay, so there's that. So let's take this a step further. Did you know that CoreLogic Credco owns over 20 companies? Like, that's a lot, right? But however, if you're here on this channel, you're more concerned with your credit reports, right? So CoreLogic Credco, the bulk of their companies are geared toward real estate, land, community, data, information, and those things. So I've highlighted the ones that would apply to you if you're on this channel looking at this video. And that is CoreLogic Loan Safe for mortgage fraud risk management solution. So if you're applying for a mortgage, they're probably going to go through CoreLogic Credco, get a little information on you. One of the main reasons that people would come to me about CoreLogic Credco is because of CoreLogic's SafeRent solutions. Okay, so these are resident screening, fraud prevention, and renters insurance solutions. So with that being said, CoreLogic Credco is reporting your rental history. So that's like the main thing that we're going to deal with today. And I'm going to tell you how to dispute with them. It's fairly simple. It's not too much different from like disputing with the big three credit bureaus, okay? So here's the sweet part of the video, guys. Here is a list of the sources in which CoreLogic SafeRent will get their information of your rental history from. So these are the guys that you want to start out disputing with before you get to CoreLogic. And the reason why you want to work your way to CoreLogic Credco is because the person or company that you're trying to rent from is pulling from CoreLogic, okay? So, of course, you have the three major credit bureaus. If you're East Coast, more than likely, they're going to be pulling from Experian. So, other places that CoreLogic Credco will get your rental history from are property management companies that specifically report to CoreLogic Credco. Now, I know I said earlier that CoreLogic Credco does not like keep their own database of credit reports. Now, that is separate from what we're talking about here now, because we were talking about CoreLogic Credco itself, but now we're talking about their company called SafeRent. So they do keep record of, from landlords and property management companies, of your rental history, because they need it to make money, right? So anyways, so let me read you this, guys, as it pertains to the property management companies that CoreLogic Credco would get their information from. CoreLogic SafeRent aggregates data from numerous property management companies and software providers that collect and report rental payment history, lease terms, and tenant behavior. Some of these companies and platforms may include RealPage, Yardi, Appfolio, Intrata, Buildium, RentTech Direct, and Resman. So these are like the main companies that you're going to want to go for. So you can literally dispute with all of these companies the same way that you would dispute with the credit bureaus. I would suggest that if you're going to go after any rental history that they're reporting with any of these companies, that you use affidavits, have them notarized, make that form, look as good and professional, as legal as you possibly can, because that affidavit is a legally binding document, and you go ahead and you go after those companies who are reporting inaccurately or negative on you that way. And then once you've done that, go and dispute to get it off your CoreLogic Credco report. Okay. Now, if you're going to dispute like rental collections with the major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, then we go about that a whole different way. But that's another video, because we would be disputing it as collection. So that's another video. You've probably seen plenty of videos from me on that. So the other place that CoreLogic Credco will get their information on you from is from courthouses. So if you've ever been evicted or taken to eviction court, then they're going to pull that information over literally from Pacer. Okay. And another place is going to be previous tenant screening inquiries. Information about past tenant screening inquiries and previous addresses reported by landlords and property management companies can also be a part of their database. So it's always important to check those old addresses. If you have like old addresses that you have bad history at, get that stuff off your report first. Like, do your due diligence before you go out here and spend hundreds or maybe even thousands in some cases in rental applications. Do your homework first, especially if you know you have some bad stuff out there. Direct reporting from landlords, we already talked about that. And so that's pretty much it. I did a video previously, I think it was like last year, showing you a CoreLogic SafeRent report. So I'm not going to go that in depth and cover, that over again, because it's on another video, which I'll link it somewhere here in this video so you can check that out. So with that being said, let's get down to the nitty gritty. How do I dispute with SafeRent Solutions? Basically, same old way. You can send in your dispute letter along with your 3 forms of ID. Make sure that you have supporting documentation. I don't care if your supporting documentation is simply a letter from yourself saying, hey, this is exactly what, happened with this situation. This is not true. Whatever it is that you need to say for your situation. A quicker way to dispute, which I do recommend, to dispute this way and make sure our process go by a little faster, because SafeRent Solutions is still bound by the Fair Credit Reporting Act law. So of course they have 30 days to get back to you on your disputes and all that. But I find if you email them all of your supporting documentations and your dispute requests, it just makes the process go faster, because you're not calculating in mail time. And then if you're sending emails, you can send as many as you want. Hey, I was just checking on my dispute. What's up? All those things. So I hope these videos are helping you guys. I am always very pleased and excited, and kind of gives me that extra oomph to just keep making videos, because it's so time consuming sometimes when I get reports back like, hey, I followed what you said and it worked, and all that stuff is awesome. So, and also I did create this video because I read in the comments someone asking for like a little dive into CoreLogic Credco and what they're about. So I decided to do like a really quick one. So see, I do read comments and then respond and all that stuff. I mean what I say. If there's anything that you would like for me to talk about that you haven't heard me talk about, I'm happy to do so. These videos are for you guys. So until the next one, bye.